Hello YouTube, my name is Nero and doing some more Call of Duty Black Ops 3, playing the beta, and what we're going to be doing here is playing a bit of Demolition here on the map Stronghold, running around with the Razorback submachine gun. The new MTAR is essentially what this thing was. How beautiful was that nade right there? I love the fact that grenades are powerful here in this game. It felt like in Advanced Warfare, and definitely felt like in Call of Duty Ghosts as well, that grenades were just kind of optional and you really didn't need to use them. In fact, it was kind of put you at a disadvantage, I suppose, for actually using them, because it was probably better to spend those points on like an extra perk or something like that. But it's awesome seeing that the grenades are making a return here in Black Ops 3 as a very powerful piece of equipment, in that you should probably be running them on every single one of your classes. I'm definitely enjoying that. What I want to do here with this video is actually discuss Demolition as a whole in the Call of Duty franchise. It is in fact making a return to Black Ops 3, at least it's so far in the beta, right? It could all change by the time the game makes its full release in November, but at least right now in the beta we do have access to Demolition. It does look like it's going to be featured in the full version of Black Ops 3. It was in fact featured during the original Black Ops. It was featured in Black Ops 2, so it would make sense for the game mode to actually make a return in Black Ops 3. It is surely one of the most controversial game modes ever to come into Call of Duty, right? Because it has a very spawn trap heavy background and history to it. So when this game mode first came out in Modern Warfare 2, it was regarded as a pretty good game mode. You had all the fun of search and destroy, all the fun of planting bombs, and all the fun of defusing bombs and defending the bombs and the objectives and whatnot, but at the same time you had more than one life. You know, unlike search and destroy, if you died, you could just respawn and go back. It was a brilliant idea. I really think the entire idea of the game mode Demolition was a brilliant idea. They took the concept of search and destroy, made it so the attacking team, instead of only planting one bomb, needs to plant both of them, and you gave everybody infinite lives with no respawn delay, right? I think it's a fantastic game mode. It's definitely a very fun game mode, and I'm happy to see it return. But like I said, back during Modern Warfare 2, initially it was pretty much beloved by the community, and then as the game got older and older, right? And keep in mind the Call of Duty YouTube community was just starting out in Modern Warfare 2, so it wasn't nearly as big as it is today, so it took a little while, but eventually we all kind of figured out that, hey, you realize while playing Demolition here, the spawns are kind of set in stone. You see, I could push up there a little bit. I could just stand behind their spawn point and just knife the air until the point where they just keep dying, and then they just keep spawning in front of me, and I keep on knifing them. Like, that's how it works. Like, spawn trapping was definitely a big thing, which is built into the very core mechanics of Demolition, if you ask me. Because Demolition, it's, again, similar to Search and Destroy in that there's a team that's going to be trying to attack the bomb sites, and there's going to be another team that's trying to defend the bomb sites. You can't have the team that's defending spawning in the attacker spawn, and vice versa, right? If you have it like that, it's not going to work out very well. How fun is Demolition? Like, what's the point of the game mode if the attacking team is spawning on the bomb sites, right? We saw that in Modern Warfare 3, because they definitely took steps to try and fix it, because during Modern Warfare 2, it wasn't super rampant, but there was spawn killing going on while playing in the game mode Demolition. Then when you go up to Black Ops, the game that came out after that, oh my goodness, who remembers Demolition in Black Ops? I'm thinking of Jungle, I'm thinking of Havana, I'm thinking of firing range. Like, I was one of these people. Nuketown, I was one of these people that was doing the spawn trapping, where I was like literally standing there aiming at people's spawns and shooting them as they pop up, getting 200 kills a game. Like, spawn killing was insane in Black Ops, so they tried to fix it, right? They tried to fix it, they tried to salvage the game mode itself with Modern Warfare 3. And Modern Warfare 3, whew, what they did with Demolition in that game. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So they wanted to keep Demolition, but they wanted to fix the spawn killing. So what they did was they would kind of like put it into like the code of the game. Like, they made it so the spawn logic was just really wonky in Demolition. Whereas if you had like two people on your team, because I like to run around with submachine guns, I'm sure a lot of you guys like to as well. Heck, I'm running around with an SMG rushing in this gameplay. If you had like maybe two people on your team that would rush towards the enemy spawn with a submachine gun, like people do in every game mode, team deathmatch, search and destroy, domination, whatever, if you were to do that, it would start making the opposing team spawn like 5 feet away from the bomb site. Like, I can remember specifically playing Demolition on Village, and we had like two people run onto their side of the map, and suddenly the entire opposing team started spawning on the A flag, and or not the A flag, the A bomb, excuse me, and we knew that they were spawning there because we had an advanced UAV up and we could see them spawning like as it was happening. It was freaking nuts. It's like, how are you gonna do this? They completely just ruined the game mode for me. So I didn't play a lot of Demolition during Modern Warfare 3. They of course brought Demo back into Black Ops 2, and it was a bit spawn trappy, but the spawns were able to actually flip, so they actually made pretty good progress with the spawn system there. Then of course here with Black Ops 3, this is the first time we're actually seeing Demolition since Black Ops 2. We've actually gone on a 2-year dry spell, because I feel as though a lot of developers kind of look at Demolition as a game mode that's very, very hard to balance in terms of the spawn system, right? There's definitely going to be a very fine line between having a good, solid, competitive game mode with a predictable spawn system versus a broken game mode with a broken spawn system, right? There's a very fine line there, and they definitely took that challenge head on, and I feel as though they're doing pretty good with it here in Black Ops 3 so far. Now, I have had a couple games where the opposing team would push up to my spawn very, very closely, but I was by no means actually being spawn killed. I was just having the opposing team being very close to my spawn sometimes, but it was usually very easy for me to break out and go up, get the bomb planted or what have you. So I feel as though they've kind of fixed the spawn system a little bit. I think they put a lot of time and effort into making sure Demolition actually worked, because in my own opinion, Demolition is like one of the best game modes in Call of Duty. It's right up there with Domination for me. Like, if Domination is my most played game mode, I think Demolition would be my second most if it's actually featured in that game, which again, this is the first time we've had Demolition in 2 years. And I feel as though they have a good version of Demolition on their hands. Like, again, sometimes you look at some of the older versions of Demolition that we've seen in the Call of Duty history, sometimes it's not that great. You know, sometimes you get something like Black Ops 1, where it's like freaking spawn trap heaven. Other times you get like it's Modern Warfare 3, but spawns are constantly flipping. You need to try and find a nice balance there, and I feel as though what we had in Black Ops 2 was a pretty nice balance. I can only think of a few instances in Black Ops 2 where spawn trapping, quote-unquote, was actually possible. One of the maps that comes to mind is actually Hijacked. I made a video on Hijack where you weren't really essentially spawn trapping them, but basically the opposing team, like the attacking team, they're basically spawning on one end of the boat because there's nowhere else from to spawn. You're on a boat, you know, so it was making it pretty easy for either side, if you're attacking or defending, to kind of trap the opposing team. But overall, I'm happy to see that Demolition's returning. As you can see from this gameplay, it could be a very fun competitive game mode where people are constantly fighting for the objectives, trying to push up, trying to gain map control. And the biggest thing I like about Demolition is the game of tug of war that comes with it. You know, your team's here, the opposing team's there. It's very predictable in that sense. That's what makes Demolition Demolition. But again, that's also like kind of like the downside of Demolition, is always having an idea where the opposing team is coming from makes it so if you push up far enough, you may end up finding their spawn points. And if you find their spawn points and you start camping their spawn points, then of course things can get bad. But so far with Black Ops 3, I have not been noticing a lot of problems with the spawn system in Demolition, and I've actually been playing a lot of it so far with the betas. And I would like to hear your guys' opinions in the comment section below. How are you guys digging Demolition so far? Again, this is the first time we've had Demolition come back in the Call of Duty series in over 2 years, so I'm definitely interested to see what you guys think about the game mode as a whole. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys all found it helpful and informative, and if you did, please be sure to leave a rating. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.